This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 224. This is the G Podcast. Yes, we are back. I'm Tommy B, and it's been a minute, but we're back. I'll explain at the end of the show. Each week we do news, politics, pop culture, and they're piping out tea from the one and only Tonya B. And, of course, Tonya B's back with Mo Tea this week. Syracuse Mike has your news update. The Newsmaker crew is back. That's Vi, Talib, and, of course, me, Tommy B. But first, let's go ahead and get into news with Syracuse Mike.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
A new poll out in Georgia is good news for President Biden. A Bloomberg poll of swing states shows the gap has closed and that former President Trump now has just a 3-point lead over Mr. Biden. That's within the margin of error. The poll shows much of the gain for the current president came from black voters who are shifting back to Biden. There is a verdict in the Trump New York hush money trial. The jury found the former president guilty on all 34 counts. This has never happened in U.S. history. Moments after the verdict, Donald Trump called the decision a disgrace.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now.
Again, Donald Trump has been found guilty on all counts by a jury of his peers in New York. He will appeal. Sentencing for Donald Trump is set for July 11th. He was found guilty Thursday by a jury of his peers on all 34 counts in the New York hush money trial. This is the first time in U.S. history that a former president has been convicted of a crime. It's a case that will be appealed. After the verdict, Trump called the decision a disgrace.
This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace.
DA Alvin Bragg, who was widely criticized for moving forward with this case, can now fairly say he has been vindicated.
Everyday jurors vowed to make a decision based on the evidence and the law, and the evidence and the law alone.
Let's look at several key questions. First, will Trump serve jail time? Many legal experts say probably not. Can he continue to run for president? The short answer, yes. Can he vote? That would be another yes, because it's unlikely that he'll be imprisoned by Election Day.
Thanks, Mike, for the headlines. Man, Talib and Vi are here. What's up, y'all?
What's happening? Glad to be back.
I'll get into why we have not been back in a few toward the end of this segment. But you know, just a couple of things weren't in the headlines. Rest in power to the first grandmother, first Nana, the mother of Michelle Obama, beloved Marion Robinson, has passed at the age of 86. I miss the Obama years, regardless of how you feel about Obama. Damn, less scandal, less crazy shit, the kind of stuff we're dealing with now. So you gotta say, man, you know.
Would you say that in the good old days?
The good old days. Damn. Next thing, ATL, y'all got to address the crumbling infrastructure, y'all. That's all I got to say. I work downtown, so I can legitimately agree with these pipes busting, the power grid being suspect. You know, too many cases, man. All the growth, they're not keeping up with the infrastructure, man. So if you don't know, in the news a couple of days, actually as we taped the night before, the World of Coke was shut down. Meg Thee Stallion concert did not happen. The aquarium, the College Football Hall of Fame, all that stuff around Centennial Park, and I guess 5 miles out and beyond, no water because of a huge, massive pipe bust. Now, I think they fixed it. A lot of areas have not been turned on yet because of, what do they say, pressure, the water pressure. So they have to wait for the area, I guess, what they patched up to fully come together, and then, you know, turn the water back on and then correct the pressure. So a lot of boiled water, memorandums and texts and things on the website going out. So a lot of that crap's going on. And last but not least, it's Black Music Month. Y'all got to give it up for Black Music Month. We'll try to have a guest on for Black Music Month. But I got to acknowledge, man, Mr. Charles Gear. If you knew Atlantic Records, longtime Atlantic Records promotions exec, Charles Gear has passed, y'all, and just rest in power, sir. If you worked in the Atlanta area or surrounding area in the music business, the name Charles Gear, man, everybody knew Charles.
Everybody knows Charles.
Charles,
Charles, look,
everywhere.
Charles was the first person that I ever saw that wasn't police with a police badge.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he gave it to all the reps.
Yes.
I was like, yo, Charles was the unofficial mayor. Honestly.
Yes, he was. I mean, even I tell you, man, I came back to Atlanta. I moved back up in 2015 and 16, and I saw we connected. There was an event going on, a convention going on, and dude was there. I mean, Charles was like 70 something. Man. Charles still pushing records, doing independent stuff. I mean, I think he probably worked to the day of his death. I wouldn't be surprised, but rest in power, Charles. Rest in power. And one more quick thing on the international tip. ANC South Africa, the party of Mandela, the ANC party, has lost its majority after 30 years. That's going to be interesting because a lot of people are just tired of the corruption. A lot of people in South Africa are tired of the corruption, the issues. You talk about the issues that Atlanta has when it comes down to, the power, water. They have that every day. They have like rolling power outages throughout the country on a daily basis. It's pretty bad. So we'll see how that turns out. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. Real quick, 34 counts guilty. Sentencing will be July 11th. New York legal system, in my opinion, showed out. As much as I talk about the Jets, my disdain for the Jets and the Knicks and the national conversation around the New York sports scene, I got to give it up to the New York legal system, man. They showed how it's done. Alvin Bragg showed how it's done. The jury, professional, on point. I got to give it to them. I've never seen a jury as tight as the jury that they created for this trial. And again, thank you to the judge, man, for maintaining order in his courtroom. He did not play, and they turned it out. I got to give it to him. I'm going to go to you first, Bob. I haven't been back here in a while. So, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts with this verdict, man? Guilty on 34. Go ahead.
I was shocked that they found him guilty. I was shocked. I said, wow, they actually did it. I mean, I agree with what they did. I just didn't think they was going to have the nerve and do the right thing. And my biggest problem with the Republicans going, y'all act like he didn't do it. It'd be different if he didn't do it. He actually did it. So what's the problem? How did the system fail? He actually did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like D.L. Hughley said, he's stupid anyway. Everybody knows you can't write cash. You don't write checks.
Yeah.
So that's my problem. He actually did it. I don't understand. So I want y'all to explain to me why the Republicans are so upset about the system. He actually did. I haven't heard anyone say he did not do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna flip that to you, Talib. You heard what I said. How do you answer that?
Well, I was also pretty amazed that the jury came back with the decision that they did in the amount of time that they did. This was only 5 weeks worth of trial, where this could have gone on for weeks and weeks. So in terms of the trial being the judge running a tight ship, I have to agree. But the question that remains is what happens now. He has not gone to sentencing. I doubt very seriously that he will get jail time over this.
He didn't do it.
So what we're left with is a big nothing burger. You know what I mean? The pomp and circumstance was delivered, but what is the substance that takes place after this? Obviously the people, the masses of the general public are still behind this guy. He raised $34 million in 8 hours after the trial, something crazy like that.
I think it ended up at 39. Yeah.
Wow. So people, and these aren't the big super PACs that are coming in for him. These are the $10 donations, the $100 donations. And he's been able to raise $39 million. This is like the second week that he's beaten Joe Biden in terms of fundraising, second or third week in a row.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he's behind.
So he's still behind.
He's still playing major catch up. Go ahead.
Right, but I mean, you've got, almost $100 million. I mean, $100 billion. Wait, he raised $34 million. Yeah, so he's almost got $100 million over the last 2-3 weeks.
Well, let me address that real quick. Let me address that real quick. And the issue with that is, well, you can say that, the amount of money. The problem is, it's all going to legal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the problem with all the money he's raising, it's going into a black hole because it's going to, I mean, keep in mind, he still has, even though they're not being tried before the election, he still has these other cases and he's still got to pay these lawyers. He's still got to pay, all. So keep in mind, he still has a huge legal bill and a lot of this money has been going to legal.
Yes, but he's a so-called billionaire. There is no reason why he should be using these funds for legal defense if you're a billionaire.
Because he's not a billionaire.
But you know what, Talib,
he's crazy, but he is not a billionaire.
But it points to why he is who he is. You understand what I'm saying? What you're saying is absolutely correct. I mean, and Vi has said it on previous podcasts. This dude he never wants to pay for anything. He's never going to pay for it. I mean, he's not. And it speaks to the fact that it's all about him. Go ahead.
Right. So, yeah, I'm just, again, I want to know what's going to happen now. Is this going to change the landscape of anything that we're looking at over the next 6 months? When it comes to
go out on a limb if you want me to.
Okay. I want to hear. I want to hear what this limb is.
In next week I hit the big 6-0, the big landmark. So let me say this. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I grew up in paranoia thriller land where the Iger sanction, Capricorn. I grew up in that area. And when a former president, everything you're saying, Talib, would have been cool until Trump came out and opened his mouth. Now, I agree with you. I was saying, okay, he's probably not going to get jail time. And then Trump opened his mouth. That meandering, long ass press, 45 minutes meandering, and him calling America a fascist country. When he said that, that's all he needed to say. Vi, you military, okay? You understand how that resonates with people who've been in the military, the generals, the people with that military mentality to call America a fascist country coming from a former president. I think he crossed the line. I do.
Well, he's trying to give us a fascist country.
Right, but what I'm saying is he's saying it, and I think he crossed the line. I predict that the more he talks, the more he says off teleprompter, he can expect to get a sentence. I'm here to tell you, because right now, you from New York, dog. New York don't care. New York, what did they say? What's the line? Without fear. And I forgot, there's a line that they use, and I'll look it up, when it comes down to how the court system will basically apply justice.
Right.
Part of it is without fear. New York ain't scared of Trump.
But
it's coming down. Maybe anywhere else in the country, maybe in a red state, but not in New York. And keep in mind, people are talking about getting the Supreme Court involved in this. Supreme Court can't get involved in this because it's state. So nobody can get involved in this at this point. He can appeal, but he can't, even if he were to win, he can't even pardon himself because it's state-based. So on July 11th, I expect this judge to really drop the hammer. if you watch, and the other thing is, again, I mentioned UVI because when you start talking America is a fascist country and you start dogging the legal system, see, I believe like Scandal, there are people out there who exist who don't exist. You understand what I'm saying? There are people out there who will protect the Republic at all costs. You don't know who they are. It's like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. They exist solely to protect the Republic. And I think the more he talks, the more these people are paying attention. And if the Republicans don't stop, they're gonna wind up as a party embracing this fascist nation statement, which I think was over the line. And I think that applies to people whether you are Republican, the independents, and the other couple of things I'm going to mention is if the Democrats give him an out, I will never respect them again. Right now, they need to trounce on it. They're foolish to let him out of this. Mueller let him out. They let him out on the first impeachment. They let him out on the second. They keep letting him out. They need to go after it. Biden cannot, I call him now Felonious Trump. They need to stick to that. They need to pound it. They need to control the narrative and not let him. Look, the dude, first president with a felony. Much respect to anybody who's gotten a felony in situations that are day to day. This is not, Trump can call himself an everyday American that was wronged by the justice system. Hell no. I ain't believe, come on. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody, any everyday citizen who's gone through the legal system is not Donald Trump. He is not.
Right. Because you would never, ever see anyone bad-mouthing a judge before the sentence.
Oh, hell no.
You know what I mean? Like,
look, if in his best interest, somebody in his party, somebody better tell him, dude, you need to pay attention to that teleprompter. Whoever's writing, you need to quit going off script, because he turned the teleprompter off in that 45-minute, whatever it was.
Yeah, and he went right back to lying. See, that's what I don't understand. It's like, after you didn't say anything in the courtroom because you know. But the second you get back out,
he didn't want to lie. He doesn't want to lie under oath.
Right. And that's my point. Is like, you just go back straight lying. You know what I mean? This is a farce. It's a bias. I'm like, come on, man. No, it's not. It's none of these things.
No.
You got caught with your pants down, literally.
No. Well, I'm here to tell you that, if you saw earlier in the week the way De Niro came out and made that statement, whether you agree with or disagree with how they did it, I believe New York has that same mentality and attitude when it comes down to how they're going to apply justice to Trump. I think all this stuff, everything that basically he's saying, everything he's going to be doing, whether he thinks he's raising funds, it's fundraising, he is basically, energizing a base. It ain't a primary anymore. It's a general election. Okay, if he were trying to, basically push his Republican and his MAGA base, that's for the primaries. Now he's in a general election, and I'm here to tell you, man, I don't think New York's going to, I'm telling you, city of New York, they coming down. You may not agree, but I think, I truly believe that New York is in a different place when it comes down to how they plan on applying justice in this situation. I'm gonna go to you, Vi. You were about to say something.
Well, clearly New York don't like Trump, because the two cases he don't have, he has lost resoundingly.
Yes.
When he close, they had
New York.
They had no shadow of doubt. Dude, you are guilty. We are 1% against you. Which I'm going, why do y'all hate Trump so much?
Because they know who he is. That's the thing. It's like the what do you call it? The carpetbaggers, the city guys trying to go into. He got the country folks, this grassroots across the country. But New York knows who he is. They dealt with him.
He got
how long when you Talib growing up in New York, Trump's name has always been part of New York. And so they really know. They know him. They know who he is. That's why they don't trust him. They don't believe in him the way these other dumbasses.
He is definitely a crook and a liar.
Well, Cohen didn't hold back. I mean, and I'm here to tell you, but really, in the case,
but Cohen, his character destroys him, though. So hey,
yeah, but keep in mind, and I'm gonna say this because I followed the case pretty closely on a daily basis. It wasn't really about Cohen's past. It was about the prosecution being able to basically corroborate everything that he said.
It was
Pecker
it
and
was
the paperwork.
Like I said, like they said, you don't have to believe anything. You don't have to believe anything Cohen say, but everything he said, they had somebody else a paperwork to back up what he said.
Oh yes, and see the what do you call it? The defense. All they did was attack Cohen, and they didn't pay attention to all the corroborating evidence. They never went after the evidence.
Like the guy with the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Why they attack Pecker?
Yeah,
they didn't attack him at all. They just let him. And Pecker basically said, "Yeah, we did it. You know, we told lies on everybody else, and anything bad against Trump, we make sure we shut it down." And we lied. We lied on all his opponents.
Yeah, but I'm telling y'all, and I agree with you. If Trump hadn't opened his mouth, I would have been totally on board. Yeah, he's probably just going to get maybe 6 months probation or maybe a couple of years probation. He is going to be a felon, without a doubt. He's a convicted felon.
Yeah, he's a felon.
But ultimately, he's a felon. But ultimately, I didn't think he was going to get jail time. Now I think he's going to get jail time.
You think? I don't believe he get jail time, baby. That's the president of the United States.
Keep in mind, what's going to happen is this. It will, Rikers, some of these other jails around New York, they will he'll be in solitary. He'll be like the Birdman from Alcatraz. They will put his ass in his own. Let me tell you, he'll be in his own.
He'll have his own way.
He'll have his own jail.
Yeah,
they're not gonna do that. If the lawyer in Texas who got all the stuff, they told they put it at home. They put him at home, but they're not gonna put him in jail. I can see them confine him to his home and stuff like that. I just don't see him put the president in jail.
Well, you're going to have to disagree with me on this. And the other thing is that he was the ringleader, okay?
Oh, most definitely.
Cohen was part of this. And Cohen, and what's his, I forgot the name of the bookkeeper for Trump Inc. He's in Rikers. So the thing is, when judges look at applying, and I forgot what they call it, but there's a legal term for it. They never give less burden when it comes down to sentencing on the ringleader versus the underlings who have gone to jail. So I look at it from
is different.
Understand what I'm saying. If in any other city, I would agree with you. In New York, I disagree. Even if it's 6 months, even if it's 60 days, he's going to see some jail time. I guarantee you.
I don't believe that, baby.
Well, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you. I'm telling. Let me tell you. I'm telling you why. Vi, there's a legal term for if they sent the CFO to jail. He's in Rikers. Cohen spent time in jail. The people who were in the conspiracy underneath the guy who basically created this whole thing in a meeting with Pecker has been tried and convicted. The court's going to look at that, the sentencing. Plus, he showed no fucking remorse at all.
He showed remorse, right?
If he showed remorse, if he backed down, he's not going to show remorse. Yeah. So I'm here to tell you, everything, the stars are aligned for him to get jail time because they don't care. Look, the court, let me tell you, they've already talked to the prison system in New York. They asked the prison system, can we accommodate a former president of the United States who's now a private citizen? Well, yes, we can.
He can have because the Secret Service will be there too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So how is that going to play out? The Secret Service is just going to sit outside the jail?
Oh, they got to be there. They got to be there.
Wow, but they will be there with the guard. I'm here to tell you, y'all can shake your heads all you want. The courts, the legal system in New York has already said that we are prepared to accommodate the president of the United States. If we were talking about Georgia, if we were talking about maybe California, if we were talking about any other state, any other city, I'd agree with you. It's New York.
I mean, I will agree with you that New York has had a long history with racketeers, high profile, criminals, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with what you're saying, Tommy.
And maybe
it's
Chicago,
like I said,
because Chicago's dealt with the mob.
Same thing too. So I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I definitely do not think that it's probable at this point.
Right. Y'all don't have to disagree, but I'm here to tell you what my opinion is, and I'm of the opinion that he will see some jail. He's going to do some jail time.
Well, from your lips to God's ears.
I know that's right. So I just don't see that.
But you know what?
We are not going to put the president in jail. Not the president.
I agreed with you until he opened his mouth.
Well, he ain't going to never shut up.
And
he's not going to shut up.
He's not. That is one thing I will say about the legal system is they look for remorse. Yes. They look for the changed behavior. They want to see you showing some empathy for your actions in court. And Trump doesn't have that. He will never have that. So if that is, if that is definitely something that will weigh on the decision that the judge makes. But, again, it's just difficult to see that would really happen.
Look, Vi, and you say that, hell, I wouldn't expect the damn president to be be a felon.
Right.
That's the truth.
I mean,
well, we're in a different world.
I hear what you're saying,
we're in a different world, man.
We're in a different world. Go ahead, Talib. Sorry, you just turned on your light. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in a different world.
But I mean, so I understand what you guys are saying, and we're just gonna have to see on July 11th.
Yeah.
But
my fingers will be crossed.
But I am here to tell you that a lot of people did not expect for him to be guilty. Yeah. And a lot of people did not expect. I did not expect all 34 counts. I was like, damn.
Now that's the biggest shock to me. I said all 34. They didn't think he was innocent of any other counts.
No, he's not.
Well, see, let me tell you, Vi. I watched most of the case
beyond reasonable doubt. They basically say they have no doubt. They see no doubt.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Vi. I watched on a daily basis, pretty consistent, the case. Not just watching because it wasn't televised at all, but you could see the commentators giving basically the key points.
Right.
And one of the key things that at the end, when the jury started deliberating, to me, was the questions, and they went straight to Pecker. When they did that, I said, yeah, he in trouble, because Pecker, they didn't go to Cohen. They didn't. I mean, they think they did. First thing they wanted was that conversation between Cohen, Trump, and Pecker. And they went straight to a line that made sense to me, that they were basically going to call him guilty. I don't have the exact line that they went to, that they asked the judge to repeat from the notes. But when I heard them repeat that, I said, "Oh shit, he's toast." But I didn't expect all 34 counts. I didn't.
No, not all 34.
But you know what? I'm here to tell you, man. Until he opened his mouth, I said. And plus, keep in mind, he's still under the gag order.
Right. Which means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He's willfully violating the gag order.
He's still on the gag order?
Yes. Yeah. Until the sentencing.
But then he attacked the judge and his daughter again?
Yes.
That's what
I'm saying. And Cohen. And the jurors. And even right now, they're trying to they're trying to release the information on who the jurors are. So, I mean, I'm here to tell you it's a different scenario now, because the government, whether it's feds or the local or state, it's almost like this guy is a terrorist, in terms of what he's doing, and almost like a domestic terrorist. I mean, they're going to start viewing him as a domestic terrorist, going back to Oklahoma City and some of the stuff that happened, some of the unfortunate things I think that happened in the country. They're not going to take a chance. That's why I tell you, I watch these movies too closely. I watch Scandal And I know I'm here to tell you. I don't watch it. I didn't watch it every single week, but I understand the premise.
Well, I did.
And the premise there, Papa Pope exists.
I was dead in it, so I watched it every week. So yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just here to tell you there are people out there who you don't know are defending the Republic.
Well, most of the high-ranking military people, even retired, don't know them. Don't anybody who have any legitimacy backs Trump.
Well, that's not true, Vi. I think you can't say all. I think you might say some, but for the most part, man, I think most military people who have defended the country for decades and years are fed up. I think. And I think when you go out in front of the American public and the world, I'm not talking about this speech he gave yesterday is international. That's on the web. And when he calls America a fascist country, I think he crossed the line with those, maybe even with those people who might be behind him. I mean, you got to keep in mind when he was going out, Vi, when he was actually, the people who were on his cabinet did shit to protect the Republic because they knew he was out of bounds. His own people right now on the military side who are actually involved with his cabinet and his regime, they don't want to have anything to do with it.
So where do you think this leads or leaves the Georgia election case?
Well, I don't want to say this, man, but D.A. Bragg's, man, just showed how you do it. And I'm concerned. The only thing about Fulton County is the speed at which Fulton County works. Fulton County, when you look at what still is going on with the jail, the poor management by judges within Fulton County, the fact that you've got people in jail waiting on court cases for months and years, that's problematic to me. And then I watch how New York, you talk about speedy.
Yeah. That's what I said, 5 weeks.
That shit, I mean, I'm talking about efficiently speedy.
Yeah.
And my challenge with Fulton County is it's just not efficient. There are too many problems. I don't think, I think it go, I mean, they're talking about, even you look at the Young Thug case, you look at the Thug case, it's going on, who knows when it's going to end. You look at the Trump case, who knows when, I mean, that thing could go on for 2 years. New York did it in 5 weeks. So I think it's a testament to D.A. Bragg, to the judge. I just think, knock the Knicks and the Jets. Sorry, Talib.
Yeah.
But damn, that court system don't play, man. They do that just like my man said. Like DA, he said, hey, we do this every day. We do it day in and day out.
Yes. And Fannie really messed up what she did to that guy. But they ain't talking about the case anymore. She just gave them something. They were looking for something. And when she did that, she just gave them something.
Yeah. I'm not going to attack her. I'm just going to say, as a whole, Fulton County has to speed up the justice system because it's hurting. There are a lot of people on fucking low. What are these charges? Why are you still in jail?
Right.
Because they can't get them on the docket.
Yeah.
You got people dying because of inefficiency. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, last word. I'll start with you, Talib.
I got 6.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body has posted a. Did you see the bikini pic?
Oh yeah,
that's floating around. I'm like, she's still. I was like, yeah, she's fit, but she's still built like a spray can.
She got mad. She real mad.
She's hot.
Hey,
she's hot about this one. And after the trademark, come on, man. After the trademark, and the t-shirts,
hot man.
I can't wait to. Man, I've been in love with Jasmine Crockett since I saw her the first time on the house floor. You know what I mean? Like this.
Hang on.
Yes, let's give her a horn, brother, because she is amazing.
Yeah,
and she is no joke, and she knows what she's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we want to see.
See, what's the word? You messed with the wrong one. The wrong one.
She got the right one. She got the right one. And AOC jumping in there too. Oh, baby girl. It's like, you want to say bitch. Don't you? You want to say bitch, please. That's
that was delightful, man. That was
loving it. I'm loving every minute of it.
Very cool. What you got, Vine?
Well, Trump, hey, power to New York. That's all I can say. Power to New York. And I hope everything happens. I hope it go down like you said it's going to go down. I just don't see us putting the president of the United States in jail. Don't see it.
Well, hey, until he opened his mouth.
That made you believe?
Because you're dealing with a judge, man.
I get it.
These judges, look, I don't know how much you've dealt with the legal system, Ryan, but these judges are narcissists themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they are close to God because they know it. And that's the way they treat their courtrooms. That's the way they treat everybody around them. So, look, man, you can sit there and badmouth the judge if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
he's done the whole trial.
Yeah.
But that's the trial.
Right, exactly. That's what I was about to say. But the sentencing hasn't taken place yet.
Yes.
Well,
this is the judge's territory.
He basically told the jury he's guilty.
What's this?
He basically told the jury when he told her how to get advice, how they can get a sentence. The sentence direction he gave them basically said, okay, he's guilty.
You say the instructions that the judge gave?
Yeah, he basically told him. He told them how they can do it. Hey, he's guilty.
No, I mean he told them.
He didn't give him a way out. He gave him a way to find him guilty.
You got to keep in mind when you look at this is probably in following cases. This is the most educated jury that they laid out. And keep in mind, the defense had a hand
in picking the jury.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They had a hand in picking the jury.
Yeah. I wouldn't have picked all the educated people. How you pick two lawyers? How you pick two lawyers to deal with Donald Trump? That's what I'm saying.
Well, a lot of folks say that they shouldn't even went to trial, man.
But keep in mind, and this will be my last thing, and I'm going to say this. Look, justice is justice. I mean, let me just say this. Again, I'm the movie guy. I'm the pop culture guy. If you watch The Untouchables and you saw how Elliot Ness and The Untouchables dealt with Al Capone, they did not get him on the murders, and all the big stuff, the bootlegging. What did they get him on?
Taxes.
Yes. It doesn't take the big stuff.
But I'm like Shabazz on this.
Yeah.
What does this do? We can put him in jail and he still can run for president.
Yeah, but then it's up to the people. I understand that.
That might even motivate people to vote for him because he's in jail.
Hey, there's a guy, and the only other guy who's run for president in jail happened back in the 1920s. There was a guy who had convicted of sedition. He was part of the Socialist Party, and he ran in jail for president. Okay? So it's happened before. But my point, you guys, and I want to understand this. I've been doing this podcast from the Mueller trial. I've been doing a podcast following this, going back to the Hillary, when he was basically running against Hillary, when nobody took him seriously, through the Mueller trial. And for somebody like me, every little bit matters because he's been let off the hook so many times when he's guilty. So I understand what you may say in terms of whether or not this was the least of all the charges. But what happens is when it comes down to the armor, this is showing a kink in the armor, a chink in the armor, this is showing some vulnerability that I think a lot of people didn't think he had. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, okay. Love your thoughts, y'all. Again, go to castropolis.net. You can choose the people poll, leave us a voicemail. I'd love to know what you think about this whole thing. I'll play back the best. Got to shout out and say again, Talib Shabazz, man, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, bro.
By the country commentator in the building, man. Thank you so much, bro. Y'all want to put some money on this?
No. Yeah, no.
No, but I would have lost on the verdict, so no.
but I think the thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this: the thing that we have to pay attention to is his, what he says. I mean, I'm just talking about how defiant will he get?
Yeah,
and keep in mind, and I got to say this, y'all: there are people out there defending the Republic who you don't know are defending the Republic.
Well, I hope they are.
Right,
because we need it right now.
Right.
And so I'm gonna leave it at that.
We need it right now.
You better go vote, regardless. I know a lot of people telling you, don't vote. Presidency don't matter. I'm just saying, and I'm not just saying this. I mean, I think the choices are piss poor, but I'd rather have somebody who, at least, I mean, all of them lie, but at least I know, somebody's not going to get in office and try to do away with the presidential terms. Because I'm telling you, once he gets in, if you consider what's going on with the Supreme Court right now, if you consider Alito is out there with an upside down flag and putting it all on his wife, when you see what's going on with Clarence Thomas, this is why the Republicans want the Supreme Court to get involved in this case, because they know.
Yeah, but they can be bought.
Yes, or they already have been bought.
They already have been paid for.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Tonya B's up next. Appreciate you. Let's take a break and we'll come back with the tea.
More. This is the G Podcast after the break.
It's tea time, y'all. Sippin' the tea with Tonya B.
Yes, children, it's time. It's time to sip some tea with your girl, Tonya B, right here on This Is the G Podcast. So I'm sipping some GT. Let's just get right to it. We got to say prayers up to the family, friends, and fans of two people that we lost this week. Just Friday, Michelle Obama announced the passing of her mother, Marion Robinson. Also, we lost NBA Hall of Famer Bill Walton. All the best to them. Also want to say a shout out to those of you that are in the southeast part of the country, especially in Atlanta. You remember the OG record label promotions guru, Charles Gear, who has gone on to glory too. So we send our prayers and thoughts to his family as well. Here's some good news. Iconic gymnast Dominique Dawes, who won in the 1996 Olympics, I believe it was, and powerhouse producer Will Packer, who gave us films like Girls Trip, Think Like a Man, and Ride Along, they are now minority owners of the Atlanta Falcons. I hope they can bring some positivity and a winning spirit to a team who clearly needs it. All I'm going to say about Diddy is he keeps digging his grave deeper and deeper. Allegedly, grand jury is involved, allegedly going to subpoena the male sex workers. 50 Cent cannot finish his documentary because bombs keep dropping every day. Now Biggie's mom, Miss Valletta Wallace, says she wants to slap Puppy upside his head. And I hear he's laying low, allegedly, to stay alive, did not make his daughter's prom, nor did he attend their graduations. Oh well, things you do in the dark come to light. Well, for J-Lo, it's a no-go. Marriage basically over. Documentary album a flop. Concert tour canceled. Vegas residency, hearing that's canceled too, because if you cannot sell a $10 concert ticket, you cannot tell somebody to pay you $1 million for 90 days of a residency. I'm hearing her new film, Atlas, is getting mixed reviews. Some people say it's wonderful, some say, don't know. But Jenny got to go back to the block and realize there are some new girls on the block that have kind of taken the attention from everybody, like Karol G, Anita, and Becky G, who won a Grammy this year. Tonya B, are you ready for Car Wash, the TV show? I don't know. If it's anything like that mess that was Good Times, Malcolm Lee, although he's been hired by NBC to produce a TV version of that 70s movie starring Richard Pryor, we'll see. We'll also have to see about Pam Grier telling us it's going to be Foxy Brown the musical. I don't know how that's going to go and who's going to play Pam Grier. Did you know Patti LaBelle is 80 years young this year? She just had a blowout birthday party in New York. Cardi B was supposed to host. She didn't show up. Word from the curb is because she's having some complications from an alleged third pregnancy. But Patti also said she got new music coming this year. Collaborations with Gladys Knight, who also just turned 80 years young, along with the no-show Cardi B. Well, singer Sean Kingston and his mother, my goodness. I guess you know now, no matter what your situation is, when you get arrested, they will take your wig off. And they took her wig off all the way off. The two are, the mama's out of jail. I don't know if she got her son out of jail yet, Tommy B. But it's just a laundry list of alleged crimes. Identity fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, stealing $500,000 in jewelry. And man, that so-called mansion that they're living in, it's rented. That just goes to show you. I'll tell you one thing. Will Smith did say he was not going to do any press to promote Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die in the U.S., but he may now have to do that because I'm hearing Martin Lawrence may be going through some health issues. I don't think it's a good idea for Will to take his family along for the ride and have them involved in it. I wouldn't do that. One thing I would do is I would put down my money to get this Salt and Pepper action figure that's coming soon. Salt and Pepper's here. That's what I'm talking about. And Lauryn Hill at it again, being sued again. And here is why. She did not pay her touring company and she did not pay other people. So there's a lot of people with unpaid wages. Lauren, why are you doing this again? Well, you know how these Destiny's Child children, they're women now, they always working. We know about Beyonce. We saw Kelly rolling at the Con Festival this year saying, "Don't touch me, you don't know me like that." And it wasn't just her, it was some other actresses too. Something wrong with that security guard. But Michelle Williams, she is back, and she's back on the Great White Way on Broadway in a stage version of the 80s film Death Becomes Her. What's not becoming? I told y'all before, don't mess with Michael Jackson's mama. But now his mother and his kids have had their monthly stipend checks cut off from the estate because there is an unsettled $700 million tax debt. If that's the tax debt, you know what the estate must be worth. The checks will resume once the debt is cleared up. And the only person I know that would step up and make sure that their mama is taken care of is Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. It's your girl, Tonya B. This is how we sip this GT here every Sunday. This is a G podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the YouTube channel. And remember, you can check out the Birdwire on Castropolis.net on demand. Have a great week, everybody. Shout out to the OGs of Black Music Month. The Barcades, Confunction, Cameo, Charlie Wilson, L.A. Reid, Jesse Johnson, and of course, Prince. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks to Tonya B, Vi, Talib, author and political analyst Harold Michael Harvey. Thanks to the crew, of course, Millennial Nick, Lady J, Regia, music by K-Dub, all those who help us make it happen every single week. Subscribe, y'all, and turn on notifications for all new episodes. Gotta say thanks to all of you who reached out asking, man, where's the show? Well, yeah, bro. Your boy ran into a major case of seasonal allergies gone wrong. No voice. Finally got it back a little bit for some of y'all who said, damn, just keep it. Don't bring it back. But I am back with the voice. Thank you so much for checking in. Yes. Thank you so much. And with that, episode 224 is in the can. Have a great week, y'all. Peace and power to the people.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.